Hi guys, I'm back with another video. I was gonna try to do 3 videos in one day, so we're gonna keep this one super short because I'm behind on what I need to do. And I've got my friend Margie coming tomorrow to stay in the guest cottage over here until Sunday. Mac and I are gonna hang out with her for a little bit this weekend and get some stuff done. I wanted to check and see how everyone is doing this week, how their FND is doing. I've seen on Facebook where a lot of you guys are having problems with the heat. And I know that heat is one of the factors that can cause what I say an FND flare up, or people's, like you can have a fibromyalgia, like fibro flare. That's the words for it. So luckily, where I am in the mountains, we do not have that much heat right now. I think our highest day has been 85, but we live in the middle of a rainforest, so it usually rains at least 15 to 20 minutes every single friggin' day. So I have not had to deal with the heat that much. When I lived in South Carolina, I did. And my way of coping with that was to stay inside. Like, I can't tell you any secret words of wisdom on that except stay your butt inside. Stay in the air conditioner. I don't know. I can tell you a couple of things that I've seen that might help you. One, take you some wet towels or hand towels, wet them in cold water, roll them up, fold them, and then roll them up in a little roll, like a little Debbie, what is it, a Swiss roll? Whatever them things are, the little black and white things that little Debbie has. Roll it up and put it in the freezer. Leave it in the freezer for about 10 minutes and take it out and drape it over your neck, and that will help. Obviously, getting your hair up, if you've got long hair, getting your hair up off your neck and your back will help ease some of that, the heaviness, the heat, the discomfort. Stay in items like cotton, something breathable, if you can find linen to wear, that's a good thing. Whenever we went to Savannah, I wore a couple of linen pieces. They have on Amazon the little neck fans. So I think you can just charge them up with, like, a USB, and you put them around your neck and they hang, and then they've got the fan that blows out. So that would be an option too. If you have to be out in it, just be very aware of when you feel like you're at your pushing point. Keep bottled water with you if you can. Get you a little cooler to take with you. Keep it full of, if you can get Under Armour, what's that? Is it Under Armour light drinks or Gatorade? Under Armour is closed, but I swear they make a drink because I like it. I like the peach mango. What is it? Maybe it's Under Armour. I don't know. It's peach mango. It's right there with Gatorade. Keep you some Gatorade, or get you some Gatorade packets to put in your water. Make sure that you drink plenty of water. Do not push it to the point where you're going to have a heat stroke. If you start feeling dizzy, if your vision gets blurred, please get to a cool car or get in an air conditioner. You can have a heat stroke in the temperatures that we've been having along the south, and especially in the southwest area. I know it's been over 100 degrees. If you're setting outside for a kid's sporting event, or, if you're just kind of having a little fun, if you can put yourself a kiddie pool with some water in it, just to put your feet in it while you're sitting there in a lounge chair, would be cool. I know they make little inflatable pools that you can just kind of blow up and stick at your feet. I know you would look weird, but better to look weird than have a heat stroke. There was something else I was going to suggest. Just left me. The other thing that I was going to talk about is a new symptom that I developed when I was in Savannah. I didn't address it the other video. If you sat through the other video, I'm extremely sorry. It hit 50 minutes. Like, literally, my phone ran out of storage. My phone was like, you're done. And then the video that I filmed before that, it got completely off track. And yeah, go back and watch that one because my brain was acting up. It was a roller coaster. It was all over the place. Anyway, I was in Savannah. Mike and I were at the Foley House Inn. That is where we stayed. We had come in from a great night. We had just walked around the city. We did just a casual walk, nothing strenuous. Just hitting, the river, because we were up off of River Street, I think 8 blocks. So we walked all the way down to River Street and had a wet willies. It was really good. And come back up. And so we were sitting out on our hotel, Foley House Inn, not a hotel, bed and breakfast. We were sitting out on our balcony and my iPhone watch alerted me. And what had happened was my heart rate had jumped up to 118 beats per minute at a resting rate. And it had been that way for over 10 minutes. And so we literally were going back and forth of what do we do? I was Oh, the joys. Let me get a sip of drink because that just went. If y'all have FND, y'all are going to get these videos because it's trembling hands, it's slurred speech, it's crazy eyes. I mean, yeah. Anyway, I was diagnosed by a cardiologist. I'd had a heart murmur when I was a child, and then it flared up again when I got heavy, and I lost down to like 165 pounds and started trying to exercise. That was before being diagnosed with FND. That was before the 2016 injury that I haven't told you about, that I'm not going to tell you about because it's very personal. It was something that I did to myself that really brought out the FND. And anyway, I had to go to a cardiologist and they diagnosed me with AFib and I don't know, some sort of prolapse. That's when you prolapse your girl parts. It's something with a valve. So my heart doesn't get enough blood to the bottom. It puddles in the top of my heart. So it gets really heavy and then it'll dump. And then when it dumps, it's almost like it takes my breath away. And so it'll cause an extreme heart murmur to the point my mouth waters and I have to cough. Coughing will reset the arrhythmia, the beat. So if I'm ever on film and I do that or whatever, just know like, it's just because I have a heart condition. But it was worsened with FND. Again, it was a personal thing. So anyway, the Apple Watch kept alerting me, and I spoke with the physician about it when I got back, and when I go see him, they're probably going to refer me back out to a cardiologist because I wasn't overexerted. You know what I mean? It was really funny. Like I was having the best time because Foley House Inn is on Chippewa Square. It was really beautiful. The Hearst tours, the Hearst Ghost tours, which do not tell the complete truth about Savannah. It's mostly made up. No offense to the Hearst tours. I love you guys. I've taken 3 rides with Dawn of the Dead. She's the best. If she's still working there and you go to Savannah, get Dawn of the Dead. But some of it is not actual facts about Savannah. So they go by the Foley House Inn. So we were watching the hearse tours because about every 15 minutes one would go by. What I was thinking about at the time was having to come back to this life here in Western North Carolina in the mountains. And I'm sorry, I'm at a desk with a huge window, and a butterfly flew right up to the window and caught my attention. Squirrel! Anyway, I keep saying that today. Anyway, we were sitting there, and like, I had a wet willy, so I had one alcohol drink, and I'd not taken any of my medication. I'd not had any other problems all day. My husband was drinking a beer. We were just sitting there talking about coming back up here and coming back up to a reseller's life and a work camper's life, and him working full-time at the casino. And we just really don't have time for each other. And I just turned 49 this past Monday, June 26th. We're just at the phase in our lives. Mac and I have always worked one or two jobs, and like, we just want to be together, you know, and it's getting to the point some days I need a full-time caregiver. And financially, we're not able to do that, you know, until our reselling picks up, if it ever got to the point. I know some people are full-time resellers, and some people have big YouTube channels that they make a lot of money with, and TikTok, and, you know, there's other platforms. And gosh, I wish I could figure that out, how to do it. Because, like, I love to thrift. I love to source. I love saving something from the landfill. I love giving new items a second chance. I love helping this fast fashion industry. You know, you get something from Shein, and it's made from sweatshops in China and by children, and you wash it a couple of times and it's just kaput. So Mac and I also love vintage items, and a lot of the things that we do has to do with saving pieces like Cole Haan and Ralph Lauren, and we found Burberry before, we found Gucci before, we found Coach purses, Dooney and Burke purses. So we just love finding things and turning them around and flipping them for a little profit. But we really don't know what set my heart into that rhythm. So I really just wanted to hop on here and give you some tips for the heat, and wish you coolness if you're living in an area that's hot. I'm so sorry. And I'm sorry that you're having flare-ups. And there's a guest cottage in the mountains of Western North Carolina with a queen-size bed and a shower if you need a getaway for a night. But I wish you the best. I hope you stay cool. I hope some of those tips I told you might help you a little bit. And then I wanted to tell you about the newest thing with FND is the heartbeat. And just tell you, keep your chin up. And I know it's hard. Like, I kind of started getting a little bit serious at the end of my last video and just kind of wanted to film this. And I'm behind. I was supposed to have done, like, photographed a bunch of shoes before my friend gets here tomorrow to take up my cottage. Because this is also the photographing spot over there for eBay. And I'm behind, but I wanted to reach out again because, you know, I'm gonna say the same story. I feel alone. I feel absolutely alone. Like, I know there's got to be more people with FND, because I see all these people on Facebook that's like, I need a friend, I need a chat buddy, I need a partner. Well, I'm your next best thing, because I'm just going to talk into a camera. If you get me in a crowd, I shut up. I don't do well with crowds. I'm very introverted, but by golly, I can talk the horns of a billy goat to this little camcorder right here. So anyway, Mac and I are still indecisive as our journey, and it's really hard. Like, sorry, my camera is kind of falling there. It's really kind of hard to figure out our next move and where to go. We would have to rent somewhere, and rent is just super high. And we work camp, so we get a huge discount on the little cottage here and the house in the background. It's just a park model. It's not a big house. But it would involve like the reselling business having to pick up, and Mac, because I think I told y'all in one video, he interviewed for the trolley service in Savannah. But a 1-bedroom apartment on Wilmington Island is $1,600 a month. And I need a 2-bedroom for the eBay. And I also have a Cricut that I make little things for people with sometimes. And I just craft sometimes because it keeps my mind busy with FND. I don't even know where I was going with this. I just love how y'all are going to know these videos are straight in a row today, because I have severe brain toots coming out my head. Anyway, if y'all have any tips for me on making a decision, because I'm still indecisive. I told y'all in the last video that I did pull a card when I went to a metaphysical store and got this necklace when I was in Savannah. And it did say I had mental conflict and was facing a difficult choice, and I had weighing issues. And that very much has called me out. And so I keep looking at that card and I keep thinking, I need a sign. You know, like, sometimes I've made the wrong decisions in the past. And I mean, I think we all make bad choices sometimes, or we all make the wrong decisions sometimes. But now with my FND, as bad as it is, I really can't afford to make a big screw up in my life. Like, I can't afford to move somewhere and then flunk at everything, or, you know, be completely isolated from a doctor that doesn't understand what I'm going through. But yet I feel not at home where I am, and it makes me feel really unsettled. And it makes my FND worse sometimes, because I get thinking about it and I get studying on it, and then it just gets in a loop in my head over and over. And then when it rains every friggin' day and you can never see a sunset, like, everywhere you look, like, the thing about the mountains is everywhere you look, there's walls, right? So we live on 441 and it's a zigzag path, and I literally am surrounded by mountain walls. It gives you a depressive disorder almost all year long, because you feel like, and tell me if y'all get me, okay? It feels like you can't see past what's in front of you. Does that make sense? And I mean, this is really coming from the heart. This is really coming from a place of a Cancer, a moon child. I need the contact with the sun and the moon. I need the contact of the ocean every now and then, because I can have a mountain full of problems and I can stand on the ocean. And we always go to Tybee Island. We always go early in the morning or late in the evening. It's always quiet. There's usually only like 10 people on the beach where we are. If I stand on that corner of the ocean, on that beach, it's like everything melts away. Like, I'm so small compared to that ocean, and my problems are so small compared to that ocean. The power of it. The moon controls her tides, her waves. I feel in the mountains, and not that I'm ungrateful or I'm hating on the mountains or hating the people who love the mountains, because my park manager hates the beach and loves the mountains. My daughter lives in Spokane, Washington. She loves the mountains, not so much the beach. When I'm driving down the road, and everywhere I see is walls, right? Of trees. I love trees. I love trees. I'm a tree hugger. It blocks my vision. It blocks my ability to see past my problems, to see that there's a future. I mean, imagine living somewhere. And yes, I'm in the tree canopy. Maybe I'll turn the camera around when I end this video. But you can't see the sunset unless you leave your house, ever. You can't see the sunrise, ever. And it rains every day. Imagine what that does to somebody with an FND brain who's struggling with anxiety, who's struggling with depression, who's struggling with joint issues. I mean, if y'all are in FND, I hope you're in the realm of understanding. I feel like I need to make a change, and I'm not sure what that change is. I wish I could work camp here in the spring and summer and then go work camp somewhere in Savannah in the winter and the fall. I feel like that would balance my life out. But yeah, I feel like being here and seeing just walls. It's like you can't see the next road. You can't see the next town. You can't see past your next problem. And it's starting to kind of get to me. And so when my heart rate jumped up, I was thinking about having to come back here and having to go back to work in like 4 jobs, because and when I say work 4 jobs, I can't work. I just help out doing things. I can help photograph for eBay. I can help list stuff on eBay when I feel like it. I can help in the park when I feel like it. So Mac and I kind of do work 4 jobs, or I work kind of 3 jobs. I help out with 3 things that either like takes money off my rent or, kind of rewards me in another way. I can't have a steady full-time job, and most of the people with FND can't, because some days I wake up blind, some days I wake up and I can't speak, some days I wake up I can't hear, some days I wake up and I can't, my whole right side's paralyzed. But anyway, it was just, when my heart rate jumped up, I was just sitting there thinking, it's like, my husband and I have been together 26 years, and we see each other 2 hours a day of quality time together, and you can't sustain a relationship like that. And some days I need more time than that with my FND if I'm having a bad medical day. Not that I'm being needy, it's just medically. So that's my rant and my tips for the day. Tips on how to stay cool. New FND symptoms of a resting heart rate. It was going anywhere from 111 to, it got up one time as high as 119, but it was averaging like 115 to 118. So that's new. I will have to see a cardiologist for that. So if you've experienced that with FND, please let me know. And I'm going to end this video because it's 24 minutes. And I know YouTube doesn't like to promote long videos. So I hope everyone is doing their best that they can do, and just know that you are enough and you are needed in this world. And please don't ever think that you're not. And if you reach a low point and you're seeing this, there's a reason why you're seeing this. I can understand your journey, and I've had those low points, and I've had the moments where I've attempted to not be on this earth anymore and for some reason I was spared, and you're not alone. Like there's a plan for you. That's all for today.